My mom was a single mom. She was a teacher. So she was making, not a very big salary. And I grew up, with mom being at work mostly. So I took care of myself a lot. But I think, the real kind of formative thing for me was the immigration. When I was 16, we moved to the US. At that time, it was possible to get a refugee status. We came with no money and nothing, just a couple of suitcases. I kind of become de facto head of the family at that age and trying to figure things out. Then I went into private equity, working out of London, then out of Warsaw. But I've kind of kept an eye on Ukraine, and I was kind of curious how it's developed, and I had this kind of a bit of nostalgia. But then I ended up moving back there for the next 8 years after my private equity career. That fulfilled, the mission. I kind of reconnected with that part of my personality, and then it enabled me to move on and, move to Asia, for example. In Central Europe, Poland, Czech, Hungary, there was this huge wave of consumer finance. And basically that's when I learned that it's a derivative play on middle-class disposable income. And then in the noughties, Russia and Ukraine started happening with this, made an angel investment in one of the first consumer lending companies in Ukraine. So they needed to make a deal with a bank or merge with a bank. At that point, the private equity guy said, Greg, but why don't you move back to Ukraine and actually build it together with us as a CEO? After we sold Platinum Bank, my plan was to take a sabbatical, and I wanted to spend a little time sailing. Partly it's a culture fit, and partly, of course, the business opportunity here is tremendous. Consumer finance, when I started looking at the region and I saw, okay, so we're at the beginning of this hockey stick now, and I kind of have a crystal ball from other parts of the world where it's happened, and I've seen how it hockey stick. So it's probably one of the largest single asset class opportunities in the world today. A couple of them were in the B2B part of the value chain, credit, underwriting, collections. A couple of them were retail. When I looked at where is the consumer lending, okay, Philippines is by far the biggest, so we did Asia credit. So that's how I knew, okay, that's very interesting. Yes, Filipinos definitely want online credit. That's a big thing, right. And it's going to be huge. But we ran against that constraint that banks wouldn't lend to us. Family office, you could only get very small credit lines and very expensive. So really, if you want to scale your balance sheet into billions of dollars, which is what Philippines needs, you need deposits. And the only way to get deposits is to have a bank license. That led me to come to the central bank and to say, guys, please, can you give me a license to both collect deposits digitally and lend digitally? Because it's only by connecting those two that we can really build a proper credit access in this country. So we came with that idea to the head of credit inclusion at the central bank, an extremely intelligent lady who really understands, how fintech is going to be critical to solving credit inclusion here. And her proposal was, you know what, guys? We'd like to make you our sandbox for digital bank license. So we don't have a digital bank license category. So to give you a bank license, please apply for a rural bank license. But it will be a very special one because we'll put you into a sandbox with that license, and we'll let you build a purely digital business. And then we'll write the regulations on the basis of what we learn from this. And then we'll convert you into digital bank license number one. And it was a really amazing kind of cooperation, co-ideation that I think was quite unique. I don't think I could have achieved this anywhere outside the Philippines.
The whole ambition of it, launching something so big and crazy. That's kind of the challenge that I like.
When I saw the branding, when I went on the website, and it was really not the usual bank. So that's what got my attention. Because I don't think I'll be here if it's the traditional.
We still have a lot of class mentality in this country. We have a lot of people who might not be entirely comfortable going into a bank branch because they feel like a bank is for the rich, by the rich. And to break through that suspicion through the branding is something that we're quite proud of. Still, nobody has replicated that. None of the other digital banks have gone as, FMCG with their branding as we have. We're actually We were rated one of the top 5 customer experience banks, digital banks in the world. And I think our branding is a big part of that.
People should have the same access to earning interest independent of their income. They can start from 5,000 pesos and have the same earning as those who have millions, because that would be fair. That would be better for Filipinos and also for us, because we didn't want to end up with, 100 customers with millions and millions pesos. No, we want to end up with millions of customers, 5,000 pesos each. That's our target. We reduced our questionnaire from 50 questions to probably 7. Because again, we are thinking, okay, where else we can pull this data? Today, we have very good conversion of this on this flow. It's very simple. It's like 5 minutes, but at the same time, very predictive in terms of risks, because we are pulling a lot of data from behind, from what we already know about customers, what he already answered us on the different flows.
As an industry, we're all working on this together to make sure that we get to advance the Philippines when it comes to the banking system, financial regulations, even with technology moving so fast. We really want to equip Filipinos to use their finances properly and to be provided with the right tools.